press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi students, in the previous video we have discussed about the two devices, particularly rectifiers, half wave and full wave rectifiers, where we learnt about how to convert AC into DC, half wave or a full wave. Even when we get the pulsating output, pulsating DC, variable DC, that may be made smooth by passing the output of the rectifier through the filter, RC filter, and a stable voltage can be obtained. That one application of the diode we have learnt. Today I am taking another application of a diode which is specially designed to operate under reverse bias. The word we use it as a Zener diode. Zener diode. This diode is constructed in a special manner in which the doping concentration is made very high. P side and N side, the concentration, that is heavy doping, large concentration of holes and large concentration of electrons, that is heavily doped semiconductor. Because of heavy doping, depletion region become thin. Depletion region is thin, heavy doping, and as E equal to V by D, as D decreases, there is a strong electric field, junction field is existing. Such a diode is called as a Zener diode. Compared to ordinary diode, doping is made large, depletion region is made thin, so that there is a strong junction electric field which is acting from N region to P region. Now in the depletion layer, already you are knowing, it contains only the fixed ions, no mobile free carriers, either holes or electrons. This Zener diode which I am saying, purely designed to work under reverse bias at breakdown voltage, that breakdown specially called as a Zener breakdown. In the forward bias characteristic, if you observe, there is no change. It acts like a normal diode, because if you take this is a forward current and forward voltage, in the forward bias same Zener diode if you study, you will get the curve of the same type as observed in the normal diode. But when you take in the reverse bias, even though heavy doping is there, because of the strong electric field, does not allow the current to flow. Diffusion is completely ceased, and minority carriers, they are electron in this region and holes in this region trying to flow through this, but that is very negligible current we expect as compared to normal diodes. Very negligible current we see. However, when it reaches certain voltage called Zener breakdown voltage, large number of covalent bonds break, and because of which the electrons enter into the external circuit and re-enter here, the concentration of holes increase and here the electrons increase. Because of the breakdown, hole enter to this region, these are the minority carriers which are here, they pull towards this, and electrons which are in this region become large in number and repelled by this applied potential, and electrons trying to move towards this and combine with holes. And due to minority charge carriers motion, under the reverse bias voltage starts, you will get a sudden increase of current due to the breakdown of the covalent bonds in the depletion layer. When the covalent bond broken, automatically electron move towards that region and holes comes to this region. These electrons will run and constitute the current. But one thing you remember here, this voltage called as a Zener voltage, breakdown voltage, large current we are expecting due to the covalent break in the depletion region. However, this voltage current may be large, but diode is not permanently damaged by that. That means junction is not collapsed. The particular current at which this offers along with the voltage is called Zener breakdown minimum current. Minimum current, breakdown minimum current, and it cannot be any value. It may be in microamps or nanoampere, but it cannot be very large. There is a limit. Maximum, I maximum of the breakdown is there. If it is exceed that current, then as like in the normal diode happening, the avalanche current starts because of the large energy of these minority carriers may knock down the electrons of the atoms of the semiconductor, and cascading of the electron number starts, and thereby avalanche current begins and break the junction, and permanently Zener diode will go out of order. That means at a given voltage, please remember here, at a given reverse bias voltage, particular voltage, Zener diode conducts heavily. Any current, the voltage is constant. When we pass any current between Im to I maximum, I minimum to I maximum, the voltage remains same. At a constant voltage, we can pass the any current between this range, not higher than this value, not less than this value. If you send less than this value, almost no current at all. It cannot conduct. It conducts heavily between this range of current at a particular voltage called Zener voltage. These two things we have to remember. Under reverse bias, we have to keep the Zener diode specially designed for that. At the Zener voltage called breakdown voltage, it starts conducting heavily. For any current in this range, it conducts without itself damaged. It can act as a Zener diode even after we remove that voltage. But normal diode cannot do that. This Zener voltage has a wide range depending on the material and temperatures concerned, so that it varies between 2 volts. Available breakdown voltage having 2 volts to 200 volts. Different semiconductor PN junctions of Zener diode, that minimum breakdown voltage available is 2 volt and maximum up to 200. But we cannot see such wide range of breakdown voltage in case of the normal diode. This is the advantage. 3 things remember to understand how Zener diode act as a voltage stabilizer, how it stabilizes the output voltage. One thing, Zener is not a normal diode, it is specially designed. Number 1, heavily doped the regions of the semiconductor, thin depletion layer, high electric field of the junction, which minimizes the diffusion process highly. Diffusion current minimizes, and forward current or forward characteristic is similar to that of normal diode, but reverse bias characteristic entirely different. At a particular voltage called Zener voltage, it starts conducting heavily. For any current of this range, it conducts without permanently damaging. At this particular voltage, voltage is not changing, but current can have any value in this. This is the advantage to take this Zener diode to stabilize the output voltage. That we are coming here, how that take place, let us see in this. So I am supplying a DC input voltage, but here also when we are taking the circuit, we must be very careful. This is the voltage what we are supplying to the device should require that of the Zener voltage which we are connecting here. That is first thing. Zener breakdown voltage must be the voltage you required at the output. Again, input must be almost equal or greater than that of the Zener voltage. What we supply at the input, that should not be below that one. Minimum voltage is equal to or higher than the input voltage if we supply. Then Zener diode gives you the constant output voltage that required to run this device to which you connected this load. How that is, let us see. For example, this Zener voltage, if you are expecting, may be the 3 volt. Example I take 3 volt. So Zener voltage I have to take is of the 3 volt. This limiting resistor, how works, let us see. But this voltage of the input may vary between 3 volt to 10 volt. For example, take. It is swing between 3 volt to 10 volt. Minimum voltage required is 3. It may be the input is not steady. It is having undulation and varies between 3 to 10 volt. How this take place? So let us take the case 1 when the input voltage is almost equal to that of the output equal to 3 volt. What happens? See, this is the just Zener voltage that we are supplied from the input. Just when it comes to the Zener voltage, current is still less. If you slightly increase the voltage, suddenly large current starts. When the voltage that is given at the input is almost equal to or, please listen, equal to or less than the Zener voltage, this cannot conduct because current in this region is very, very negligible. When it is not conducting, then the current in the circuit is almost negligible because the voltage cannot develop. Negligible current means, this negligible current means what is the voltage at the input appear at the output. Because these two are in parallel, directly appear to be connected to the source, and you will get the voltage what it is. Either it is 3 or less than 3 volt, you will get the same because it does not conduct at all. Suppose if the voltage is case 2, if the input voltage become 4 volt, higher than 3 volt of the Zener voltage. Now current establishes here. Out of that, 3 volt is to be appeared here, and that makes to appear 3 volt here also. How this 3 volt comes here? Current and load resistance. One equation I take here, the current is equal to voltage across the load. Voltage across the load equal to Zener voltage, that is equal to I into RL. So the current that will be drawn by the load resistor, that has to manage current into resistance should be equal to 3 volt. It will not be more than that because they are in parallel combination. It won't increase for any current higher than the Zener. Now 4 volt is higher than the Zener voltage, current increased, higher current is taken by this Zener diode, already it is in the reverse bias, positive is connected to the negative and negative connected to the positive under reverse bias. Now the current flows through this. That means I can say main current equal to Zener current plus load current. So now partly taken. How this is? 3 volt is appeared here. Now you come to know the resistance shares that voltage to keep this as a 3 volt permanently. Now in this case, I can say Vs become 1 volt and Vz become 3 volt. I hope you are understood. Here it is now shows 1 volt corresponding to the current appears and 3 volt coming here. That 3 volt is same appears. That means increase in current shared by the Zener diode. If the voltage is higher than the Zener voltage, then IL will be adjusted so that IL into RL equal to 3 volts. That is equal to the output value. That means, let us take the case 3. If Vi is equal to 10 volt, maximum I take 10 volt. What happens now? You can see 3 volt cannot exceed. That remaining voltage should come here. That means 7 volt will be here and 3 volt will be here. That means Vs becomes 7 volt and Vz is remains 3 volt. What happened? Here I increased because of increase in the Vi. As Vi increases, I increases. As I increases, Z increases. but keep the IL constant. IZ increases with I, so that IL into RL, this voltage remains same. That is the logic behind the Zener diode, and make it the output to be same as of its Zener voltage. That is why I told Zener diode you have to select a particular voltage, so that what you need at the output must be required, and voltage that you have supplying at the input must be higher than that, so that this should work as a Zener diode under reverse bias at breakdown. At breakdown to operate means this input voltage must be higher than the, or at least equal to that and higher than that of the Zener voltage. That is, I hope you are followed. When we given the input, fluctuations of the input, if we are not supplied with the diode, appears at the load. This is minimized or made zero almost by using a Zener diode parallel to the output. What happens with a series resistor? When the voltage increases in the input, current increases accordingly. As current increases, Zener current increases, but load current remains same, so that the product of IL-RL should remain at the 3 volt. That what example taken. IL remain constant, any changes in the I taken care by the IZ. Any changes in the IZ cannot change the VZ. Cannot change the VZ means V0 remains same, output remains same. That is what used in this principle. Now I are given two equations here, output voltage equal to the Zener voltage and Zener current, and if you want what is the current in the load resistor is nothing but Vi minus Vz. Vi, that is the input voltage minus this is in series. This voltage same here. Therefore, these two are in series. Vz plus Vs is Vi, or Vi minus Vz is Vs. Vs divided by Rs. I can write Vs by Rs also. This gives you the main current. Suppose what is the power drop across the Zener diode is Iz into Vz. These are the four equations most importantly required for the numerical problems that are coming in the entrance paper. But I hope you are understood how the Zener diode functions. If not understood, I take an example here. Before that, I concluded, I hope you, that so we have taken a circuit as a voltage stabilizer circuit. Input when we supply, the current flows in the Rs, divide the current Iz and IL. When the voltage is higher than the Zener voltage, then as voltage increase, current increases, but Zener current increase, keep the load current same and IL into RL remains same as this. That is, the fluctuations of input may be controlled and constant output may be given at the 3 volts. Why? What is the Zener diode? How it functions in the reverse bias at the Zener voltage explained. The 3 points I told you to remember. One, it is heavily doped thin depletion layer, high electric junction electric field having diode. It is working at the reverse bias at the breakdown voltage called Zener voltage for any current that expecting the without breakdown of the junction. So voltage remains constant for large current flowing through the junction. But there is a limit. Within this range, we can safely use Zener diode as a constant voltage under the reverse bias. How it stabilizes, you come to know. For example, I will show you here with a case where you can better understand that. The equations are more important and easy. I hope you are followed. Suppose we have a DC source, maybe 3 volt to 10 volt supply. This is a positive terminal and this may be negative terminal. I want to lit on a bulb, LED bulb, light emitting diode, which can function at 3 volt. Imagine So for that I have route that I can use a limiting resistor and connect it to this, and other side I connected to this, and allowed means what happens when the voltage is 3 volt is no problem, it runs. When the voltage increases and goes to 10 volt, there may be chance some voltage may be dropped here, but here the bulb may go out of order, burnt off. So to protect the bulb and to work at the constant output with maximum luminescence, I have to maintain this voltage constant. That is done by adding the Zener diode, which symbol is also, we show the 2 marks lines on the bar line. This is the symbolic representation of the Zener diode in the reverse bias I placed. So its Zener voltage must be 3 volt. I have taken the Zener diode of voltage, Zener voltage 3 volt, which I required for the output. This is what I told here. Any changes in the input, let us assume again I am coming, if it is 3 volt, this is not conducting because just it is coming to the Zener voltage point. No current flows through this. This current not flowing means almost the voltage that appears because no current in the circuit. Directly this voltage appears onto this and runs. Suppose if the voltage, case 1 as I take, voltage become 5 volt, input voltage become 5 volt, what happens now? So the current flows through this, some current come to here and some current with the load, that is LED, and here 3 volt only drops. The Z will adjust so that 3 volt only drops here and IL is adjusted with 3 volt. But IZ may increase because the voltage is above the Zener voltage. Large current flows through this excess current which is not required for LED to maintain at 3 volt. Any excess current will flow through and maintain at 3 volt, and here we will get the 2 volt. Here it is 2 volt and 3 volt, together is 5 volt. So here some voltage drop will take place across the limiting resistor, or it is called as a dropping resistor. So that makes the Zener diode to keep at constant voltage. Suppose if it comes to 8 volt, it is remaining 3. Now this should become 3 minus 5, 5 volt. Suppose it become 10 volt, this remains 3. Because higher current will come through the Zener diode, this will constantly work at the 3 volt because IL remains same. If maybe resistance of the LEDs are, the product of these two which I am calling as V0 equal to Vz remains same, but the current increases without changing the voltage. Vz remains same, 3 volt, that is coming to this. Any increase in current will not change Vz, it remains 3. Any fluctuation 3 to 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any voltage value it takes, but here it will be 3 volt, output will be 3 volt. The changes we are seeing in this. Large current flows, voltage current into resistance gives you the voltage that varies here. When you go to the numericals, you will understand better. I hope you will follow how Zener diode works. As a voltage stabilizer, once we connect it under the reverse bias across the load resistor, any variation of the input voltage may be stabilized and a constant output voltage may be obtained. When Zener diode must be kept under reverse bias at a voltage higher than input voltages must be higher than the Zener voltage. This is what about the Zener diode. The question for 2-3 marks appearing in the board examination and how it works. But major problems, numerical problems are coming in the entrance papers. When you go to the numericals, you will understand better. Let us come to another category of applications called optoelectronic devices. Coming to the third one, applications of the diodes as optoelectronic devices. The very word says opto, light, electronic. Light and electronic means electric energy and light energy. So the device which may convert light energy into electric energy or electric energy into light energy. Such devices commonly put under optoelectronic devices. In this we discuss LED, photodiode and solar cells. The three applications we have to see. LED, the expansion of this is light emitting diode. So it is kept under forward bias. Under forward bias, energy gap that I explain you must be more than 1.8 electron volt, but we are having LEDs having energy gap of 1 electron volt to 3 electron volt. Why? The question may be in mind. So under forward bias you are understanding, suppose if we have a PN junction, here we have to select the material of that type. So these are the negatively charged ions and positive ions. Holes are majority carriers, electrons are majority carriers. There is a depletion layer of certain thickness and we forward bias. P is connected to P region, positive term, negative terminal connected to the N region. However, you studied holes are pushed towards the junction and electrons are pushed towards the junction. Junction is compressing. That means junction is more energizing, and as soon as the voltage supplied is becoming more than this junction potential, what happens? The whole electron will be removed from this and electrons jumping starts capsulation, whole electron and enters the external circuit, and this starts to flow and come this side and re-entry here. This hole tends to move in the direction. The electron which is now concentration increased, there is a push that capsulates with an electron. That a hole captures an electron in the N region. When it comes to this region, particularly look into this region, here it is a minority carrier. This hole when enters this region, it is a minority carrier. Majority carriers, large number, concentration is increasing by this external electron is entering. These energized electrons enter and captures and radiation emits. This has a definite energy. In other words, you can think electrons are more concentrated, hole is present here, but if you see the P region of the depletion layer other half, these electrons can enter here, overcoming the electric field of the junction, because applied field is become more stronger and pushing the holes and electrons towards this, and this electron is becoming a minority carrier. Majority carriers are holes. These minority carrier electron captured by the hole in the P region and radiation emitted. Suppose if I made it as a transparent region, the light started to emit through this. That depends upon the rate at which the diffusion is on. However, the diffusing, again electron is pulled by these holes and this continues as long as your voltage is maintained above the biasing voltage of the PN junction. This is how LED works. There is a diffusion process at the edges of the depletion layer. In the P side, electron is caught by the hole, or in the N, that is minority carrier, the electron is that captured by the hole. Here minority carrier is the hole in the N region captured by the electron, but however there is a edges of the depletion layer, electron hole pair combination is on and makes the energy to come out. Why energy comes? That you have studied in the P-type and N-type semiconductor or semiconductor concept. So we studied conduction band. In the conduction band we have the electrons, large number of electrons called conduction electrons. Whereas in valence band is the valence electrons. We have valence electrons in this. The valence electron and conduction electron difference is, let us think this is an atom. And these are the electrons in different orbits. That this may be the silicon or germanium atom, you think there is 4 valence electrons. These valence electrons are bound electrons. Bound electrons means their energy is bound to the nucleus and they are not free to conduct inside the solid. But if you give an external energy from outside, sufficient so that it is equal to energy gap, that it may giving some, it may be rises to higher and higher orbits, completely become free electron. That free electron is called as a conduction electron, leaving a hole, creating a hole here. That goes to the higher energy. This is a higher energy electron, low energy hole. Low energy hole created in the valence orbit and electron become free for conduction. That happens when electron hole pair is generated. When an electron hole pair is generated by supply of energy h nu, which is equal to that of the energy gap minimum, then electron is taken off from the orbit and a hole generate, a vacancy generates with a free electron go in the solid. But this electron have chance. What is I am saying is that, however, this process took place by the supply of energy and hole is created and we taken the electrons to this side and this electron enters in this side and diffusion take place. Why diffusion take place? This energy electron when returned back to and captured by a hole, energy releases. This energy is minimum equal to h nu or wavelength is hc by lambda. That is happening. If you made here thin, very close to the surface and made it transparent, then we will get the light energy. When light energy, the wavelength of the energy gap corresponding wavelength should be in the visible region, that is 4000 angstrom to 7500 angstrom. Starting from violet, you can go up to the red color. Provided the wavelength of the radiation emitted here, wavelength of the radiation emitted should be in this wavelength range, then we will get the light. If the wavelength is longer than 7500, we will get the infrared. If it is less than that, we will get UV light. What is the band energy required here? Energy gap. That's what I am saying. It is about 1.8 electron volts to energy gap up to 3 electron volt. I reverse written. So I can say here, I am writing again, lambda is equal to 12,400 by Eg in terms of directly can get in angstroms. So if I written 3 fours are almost, that means 4000, 3 EV energy and minimum up to 1.8 EV. If the energy is 1.8 EV, you will get this red color. It emits red light. I say LED is a red color LED. Suppose if it is of 3 electron volts, it gives almost blue color because violet, indigo almost in this size. We say blue LED. Or in between the range, that depends on. How this can be? Here if I take gallium atoms as a trivalent impurity, arsenic and phosphor, arsenic around 60% and phosphor around 40% is taken as impurities. The gallium arsenide phosphide, this gives you the one energy of this range, which gives you the red light. So similarly, if you are selecting the impurities and percentage of impurities, that gives you the different colors. Gallium arsenide can give you red and orange color. So even our germanium and silicon, if you go to silicon, it is around 1.1. I given you here 1 eV to that. Up to 1 eV to 1.8 eV, it is a infrared radiation, because as the energy decreases, the wavelength increases. If you substitute 1, it becomes 12,400 angstrom. 1 eV for silicon. It is a infrared. Such LEDs we are using. LED means don't think only light has to emit. It is converting radiant energy into electrical energy. The device which converts radiant energy into electrical energy, light energy into electrical energy, or radiant energy into electrical energy is called as a light emitting diode. To design this, we want particular semiconducting materials and impurities such that band gap energy must be in the range of 1.8 to 3 eV to get the light LED. If the band gap is less than 1.21 eV, 1.21 eV, we will get infrared. If it is above 3 eV, we get UV light. So such LEDs are also available, UV LED, infrared LED, and also the visible LED that gives light. All these are using VRs. For example, if you take the infrared LED, we are using in the remote control in our houses to operate the TV or operate the AC circuits, that particularly AC air conditioner units, or so even in case of the car key, remote control of the vehicles. So there we are using not visible to that radiation which is going from that key is not visible but operates. Who is the operator? Who takes the signal is that infrared rays that is emitted by LED. If you look into the part, you will see small button like structure which is nothing but the LED in that. However, the light emitting diodes are widely using now. Now it is lighting the houses and even the lighting of the street lights, streets, even in the vehicles as indicator panels, and even now headlights also comes, we are seeing of LED lights. Digital display. When we arrange these LED, usually we show in this form. These small button like compact, the reason why we are using is 4. One is low power consumption in terms of 1 to 5 volts, low voltage operation. Low operating voltage required 1 to 5 volts, less power consumption, second. Third, they are compact. Fourth, they have long life and rugged material, hard material. Hard material, long life, less power consumption, low operating voltage are the best advantage for them. And if they arranged in certain orders, we can display all the numbers and alphabets of any language that you are seeing at the railway station. They are mentioning the destination places and also showing the numbers of the rail which is coming to the station, or even in city buses they are displaying the destinations, starting point and the end point of the places. That are all done through this LED, different colors, maybe red, green or orange, yellow like. And even indicator panels. Indicator panels, when you switch on, switch off the TV, you are seeing red and green lights, small flickering lamps visible. Or even in DP switch, we are seeing red light is flickering. That is of LED. That is indicator lamp, power is there or not to say, whether TV is on or off. Or even in iron box, different when you are adjusting the temperature, that on and off becoming, their display comes. Even in your houses, about the mixer. Operating mixer also in different light visibility, light emits that depending upon the voltage or power consumption, the speed of the motor of the grinder or the mixer, that are all behind working is this. They are also used in burglar alarms. In burglar alarms again we are using the UV or infrared LEDs not visible. In sensitive places we are using such devices also. Indicator panel, digital display, in burglar alarms, or to light the houses or light the streets, or even headlight or indicator lamps in the vehicles, the application is vast. Because of the reasons I told you for, low voltage operating, low operating voltage, less power consumption, compact device, and long life are these. Now finally, what LED means? Light emitting diode. It converts radiant or light energy into electrical energy. It is connected in the forward bias to get the radiant energy from this. So, sorry, I made the mistake. The LED is a light emitting diode which converts electric energy into light energy. Made correction. Electric energy into light energy. Electric energy converting into light is emitting from electrical energy under forward bias of the PN junction of the particular type whose energy gap is having the range 1 to 3 eV. If the range is 1.8 to 3 eV, you will get the visible light. If it is more than 3 eV, then we will get the ultraviolet radiation. If it is less than 1.8 eV, we will get the infrared radiation. So under forward bias, what happens when we supply the voltage? When the supplied voltage exceeds the barrier potential, then diffusion starts in the depletion layer. This diffusion of charge carriers in the junction releases energy. That energy equal to that of the energy gap having particular wavelength emitted. That is how electrical energy is converted into light energy in case of light emitting diode. That is one device we come across. Now coming to another device, that is second one as a photodiode. Photodiode. So now you come to know one application where electric energy is converted into light energy. Here electric energy converted into light energy. It is entirely reversed. Light energy is converted into electrical energy. Is a photodiode. It is under reverse bias. LED photodiode LED under reverse bias act as a photodiode, emits photons when sufficient energy is supplied. It is equivalent to photoelectric cell. There also you are knowing the light energy is converted into electrical energy, photoelectric device. Photoelectric cell. Photoelectric cell. Equivalent to that. How this functions, let us see. So as usual, here the fixed ions, a depletion layer is already existing. For example, if you take on silicon, it is around 0.7 eV is the potential, barrier potential or the contact potential, P and N region. Now we connected under the reverse bias. Under the reverse bias, holes are majority carriers, electrons are minority, and here the electrons are minority carriers, here holes are the minority carriers. Now if it is unbiased, when it is unbiased, so it is under equilibrium. Ions are present in the depletion layer, some concentration of holes and minority concentration of electrons present. Here also concentration, high concentration of electrons, small concentration of holes present. But when I applied a reverse biasing voltage and slowly changing, what happens here? There is an electric field of the junction present. So because of this, electrons are as this is positively charged, minority carriers, I am not talking about the majority carriers, under reverse bias, electrons are moving towards the junction, holes are moving towards the junction, and they may diffuse and small current establishes one side. That is called saturation current. I am not talking now. These majority carriers are worrying, minority members are functioning, why can't we? But this cannot admit them, because applied electric field is also supporting for that. It is does not allowing hole to cross the junction, or electron cannot cross the junction. Electric field, applied electric field and the field of the junction, both are in the same direction, both are opposing the incoming towards the junction and they are pulling away. Finally, electron decides, why I cannot go like this and enter here. This is called transient current. Temporarily comes and locks here. That what we studied in the reverse bias. As it is locking here, so some new negative ions are creating in this region, and loss of electrons. Electron number is decreasing because of the flow due to this applied voltage. Electrons rush towards the P region and locked by the holes in the P region, depleting electrons, depleting holes. That means majority carriers goes on decreasing on either side. Widening of the depletion layer is taking place. How long? Suppose if it is of 3 volt. Now this also can reach the 3 volt. Up to that this process may on and then ceases. Suppose silicon, if you take its breakdown voltage in the reverse bias is 35 volt. I have not reached that. Maybe the normal diode, but I am not reached that. Just I am applied 3 volt, which is well within the breakdown voltage under reverse bias. This will charge up to 3 volt. Depletion layer is increased up to 3 volt. Then no current. This transitional current also stops and depletion layer is increased. High electric field is established and no current at all. Now again equilibrium is reached. Suppose if I connect the 2 cells, if it is 2 volt without any resistor, if it is a 4 volt in the opposite polarity. So this is like this, and like it may be the 3 volt. The in between a new voltage may come, they will be about 2.5 volt like. It acts as a single one with 2.5 volt around. So such type happens here. When come to the 3 volt, this also 3 volt. As rather than this, if you not followed, you studied the capacitor case. Suppose when you connected, if it is of 3 volt, no voltage present. So, but however these electrons are pulled out and this become positive and this become negative. How long this will be carried the electrons to this? Again capacitor voltage become equal to the supply voltage. Similarly, the depletion layer is energized, high electrical energy established, till this voltage become equal to the depletion layer potential barrier voltage virtual now become equal to 3 volt and ceases. This situation is arised. Now I am saying, earlierly we have some current, no doubt small current, but that becomes 0. That becomes 0, we are under reverse bias characteristics. Current is in microampere, almost 0. What happens? Again I am taking the band gap. If the band gap energy Eg equal to that of hc by lambda, or wavelength is less than that of the band gap corresponding, energy is higher than, or you can take the h nu, frequency may be higher than this corresponding. Such a radiation when falls on the depletion layer, get enter into the region, and that energy, this energy knock out an electron from this, make free, and a hole is created. Electron hole pair is generated in the depletion region, Because of absorption of radiation, when that radiation has energy equal to that of the band gap, forbidden energy gap energy, then electron hole pair is generated. What happens? Because of large electric field, in case of an electric field, here that I am showing here, this is the electric field, an electron hole pair is generated by breaking the bond. In the depletion layer, if it is the depletion layer, what happens? See, the electrons are immediately pushed toward by the attraction of this positive potential. Already it is made 3 volt, it is not neutral. Because of 3 volt, here there is a 3 volt, plus 3 volt this side and minus 3 volt here. The holes are pushed towards this end. Now what happened? Now hole is coming towards this means automatically the hole charge carriers are increasing. Here electron majority carrier concentration which was depleted and got a temporary equilibrium under 3 volt. When hole and electron pairs are generated, electron move to the N region, hole move to the P region means depletion layer is decreasing. Depletion layer decreasing means this voltage is decreasing. When this voltage decreasing, equilibrium is lost. Equilibrium is lost. Again this new hole entered to be compensated. The electron which is entered this region again come to this point to neutralize this. As many photons are striking this, as many electron hole pairs are generating per second, they are starting to move either side. Electron come to this side and enter again to the left side in the P region and recombination take place. Current starts increasing. Now there is a current establishes because of decreasing the barrier potential due to the radiations, breaking the covalent bond, generating the electron hole pair, and electron move towards the N region, hole move towards the P region, and concentration increases, depletion layer decreases. That makes drop of potential against this, driving of electrons, or the current, if you see, current again re-establishes. It is the direction of electron, current re-establishes, and current seems to be increasing if it is current I1. Suppose you learnt about intensity means intensity, number of photons into energy of heat photon per area. As number of photons incident per second increases, number of photons incident on the junction increases per second, intensity is high. More the intensity, more the number of photons, more the electron hole pair generates, more the current generates. That means as intensity increases, current seems to be increasing. If I say in this case I1 is less than I2 less than I3 means the intensity of I1 is less compared to I3. More intensity, more number of photons falling per second, more electron hole pairs are generating, that constitute by diffusion the more current. More reverse saturation current will appear. What it is not we are used majorly these photodiodes to measure the intensity or current, to sense the signal. It is a photodetector. Detecting the signal we are using such type of diodes, photodiodes. Not only visible range, again I am saying the wavelength as previously in LED discussed. This decides what exactly the reason, whether it is UV reason signal or if you want infrared ray signal or visible signal to receive, such suitable LED should be used under reverse bias. In that case, those radiations when fall on the junction, they generate the current. Changes in the reverse bias current gives you the information about the radiation is incident on this junction. Particular radiation when incident generates the current which changes the saturation current. When saturation current is changing, reverse bias current is changing, some radiation is striking the junction. That is to detect we use. Therefore, widely used these photodiodes in case as a photodetector device. Photodetector device Other applications we can do as like what we have discussed in photoelectric cell. The applications of photoelectric cell as a counting device, counting meter, it can be used as a counting meter. But in major application we are seeing the photodiodes. I hope you are understood. When the radiation falls, electron hole pair generates in the junction. They move away from the junctions towards electrons in N region and P region. Suddenly the depletion layer falls and EMF develops and make it to run in the external circuit to cause the current. Otherwise, I can say saturation current is altered. Changes in the current possible when there is some radiation is falling. But this is when that suitably you have to select the LED of particular energy gap that detect particular wavelength. Therefore, they are called as a photo detecting devices as a photodiode. I hope you are all followed. Photodiodes are nothing but the diodes which converts light energy into electric energy. It is used in the reverse bias. I told you the reason why it is used in the reverse bias clearly. I thought you are understood it. So that is what regarding photodiode is enough. They may ask you what is meant by photodiode. It is a semiconductor diode which work under reverse bias where it converts light energy into electrical energy. Main application is a photo detecting device. How functions you come to know when radiation falls under reverse bias condition. When you kept the LED, so the voltage what is supplied at the same voltage the depletion layer present well within the breakdown voltage. But when radiation falls on such a diode, there is a potential difference is developing because of the generation of electron hole pair if the radiation energy is equal to that of the band gap energy of the semiconductor. Then these constitute a current and small changes in the current gives a signal that there is a radiation is incident on that. That is enough for you at this stage and details you will learn in future years. Let us come to the last one as a solar cell. Solar cell is also, it is a photodiode in the unbiased state. We are unbiased state, solar cell, photodiode. If you keep photodiode in the unbiased state, it converts solar energy into electrical energy or electric energy better. Converts solar energy into electric energy. There are three processes. One is called generation, separation and collection. Usually if you see the, I am saying again drawing the PN junction. Holes and electrons, these are the minority carriers. We are not biased it, just a register I taken at the output. Register, and this is the reason on which the radiation has to fall. So what happens now? It is under equilibrium. Holes concentration, electron concentration and depletion layer. There is an electric field of the junction. Everything is intact unless the radiation is incident. Actual construction if you see here, so that here there is a thick layer of the P region constructed on a copper base. This copper base is a highly conducting material to which the connection can be had, and above that there is a layer called N layer. This is junction. P region is around 300 micrometer thickness, whereas N region around 0.3 micrometer thickness. Very thin layer is formed. The reason I hope you are understood why it is so. So this is the 0.3 micrometer thick. Here there is a finger type metallic strips are placed for electrical connection. Through the resistor it is connected. Here the output is drawn. This is actually the structure. This is a very N junction. Junction is made very close to the region and this surface area is made wide. 15%, about 15% of metallic strip is covered. 85% is the surface is made open to receive the solar radiation. Solar radiation, that how generates, let me come to here. Again I am saying the energy band gap, the solar energy when falls, now we are seeing there is no voltage, nothing. We can draw this to the EMF what generate, we can take into the storage cell or you can run any device. But at this is nothing. When radiation falls, if the radiant energy Hc by lambda is equal to the energy gap of this semiconductor, then it will create an electron hole pair. Electron hole pair in the junction. These electrons again, because of this junction potential, we are not biased, unbiased state, but they are in equilibrium. This equilibrium is lost. The electrons are moving towards this region under the influence of this electric field. It does not allow the electron hole pair to combine in the depletion layer. Hole move towards this region. As the radiations are continuously falling on this, electron hole pairs are generating and electron concentration is increasing. Here hole concentration is increasing means this end is becoming positive and this end becoming negative. Thereby generation of electron hole pair starts. As generation of hole pair starts, they have to be separated. Separated means we are taken off from this semiconductor. These electrons start to move on the outer circuit and allowed to re-enter because continuously recombination is on. These electrons will come, hole will come here, again the recombination starts from this. Again radiation will, again they break the bond and electron hole pairs are generating continuously. So however there is a current establishes because of this EMF generated. We separated these electrons and holes. First we generated hole electron pair by the solar energy. If the energy gap of this is equal to that of at least wavelength of the radiation incident, then the electrons which become negative potential and positive potential. If I not connected this, that remain there. But separation means I am again making the connection with a load resistor so that the electrons can run out to this other end. So the what is the voltage developed here EMF will be taken through this resistor, because if there is a current I, V is equal to I into R voltage, that may be drawn and stored in the storage battery. We can connect to a storage battery where this voltage may be stored. That is how the solar energy works, the solar cell works. Radiant energy, it is nothing but a photodiode. See, unbiased, we are not supplied any external source. When radiation falls, electron hole pairs are generated. Because of the strong electric field of the depletion layer, electrons move towards the N region, hole move towards the P region. Hole concentration increased, it appears to be positive. Electron concentration increases, it appears to be negative. EMF is generated. When solar radiation falls on the junction, EMF generates. Generation of EMF take place. By connecting through a resistor the both terminals, we drive the current, thereby we separated them. And collection of the EMF is done through this load resistor to the output. This is how works. This I made area large because incident radiation must be high by the device. Most of the photons falling on the surface should be get absorbed and excited at the junction and create the, as electrons generates, they move towards and they collected by the plate and electron starts moving in this direction. Whereas the hole collected in this region, P region, these electrons come and join and current starts flowing and voltage we draw. That is what regarding. But what is required? What type of semiconductor we required. That's most importantly necessary here. What type of semiconductor help means, suppose if we see the energy versus the number of photons coming from the sun, photon radiation, number of photons of solar radiation. Different wavelengths if you study, the curves appear to be of this form. Particularly this range, number of photons seems to be maximum for particular energy level of 1.5 electron volt. If you take a band almost very near to that, now the number of photons striking a surface per unit area, if I made the energy gap of the semiconductor of this range, we will get the maximum here. Because number of photons of this wavelength or frequency or energy are maximum. Who will give this? If you take 1.1 eV is given by silicon, or if you take the gallium arsenide is about 1.53 electron volt. Good absorption ratio the gallium arsenide has compared to silicon. These two are using suitably as the material to design semiconductors, gallium arsenide or silicon. They are showing the highest absorption and generating the EMF. Large electricity may be generated by using them because their absorption rate is high, and band gap energy at that range, if you used number of photons that is coming from the number of radiations that is coming from the sun, have the photon of energy of this range is maximum compared to 0 to any value. Therefore, in designing the solar cell, we use either silicon or gallium arsenide. I told you the purpose of that. Now solar cell is a particular cell which is used in nowadays as an alternate source of energy because it is freely available. Such a solar energy, if we convert, nowadays we are seeing large application of this. We are running the houses, even running the satellites and running the aeroplanes, submarines and even street lights using the solar cells. We are generating EMF, storing in the battery. That is what collection meaning, generating, separating and storing. That work if we did, that storage electrical energy can be used for any electrical applications. Wherever we need electric energy, that can be used. That is about this unit, the PN junction diode we discussed, starting from solid state electronics, what is the classification of solids, and so in that again the semiconductors, conductors and insulators. In semiconductors, intrinsic and extrinsic, and further we come to the extrinsic p-type and n-type semiconductor. Further, the extrinsic semiconductor cannot be used as device. We have to fuse or take them in certain grouping to design the PN junction. That PN junction has a diode, how it is working, forward bias, reverse bias characteristics, and application of this diode as a rectifier, as a Zener diode, a voltage stabilizer, and again this PN junction as LED, where we convert electric energy into light energy, photodiode, where we convert light energy into electric energy, as a best device as a photodetector. It detects the signal coming from the external means, help us to detect some signals of certain frequency or wavelength range. And solar cell, the most wonderful application of the solar cell, because freely available energy can be converted into electric energy using the solar cells made of gallium arsenide or silicon. So this is briefly I taken in the solid state electronics. In the next video we discuss about the numericals that is coming particularly in NEET and JEE. But board exam concerned, no numerical problems are coming from this section. Thank you.